My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slay the Spire Downfall. It's Hexaghost? Yeah, it's Hexaghost. Hexaghost on Ascension 10. Let's go. Arise, says the heart. Choose the red card 100% the time there. All enemies lose HP equal to their soul burn. Have that immediately and start building around it. Try and get a deck where we just build a large soul burn number on someone and then pop the Searing Wound, doubling the soul burn effect. Possibly tripling it, should we cycle back to it consistently. There's also the Instant Inferno, ignite the active Ghost Flame, ignite the Inferno Ghost Flame as well. This just has a much larger effect than any of the rest of these. Unleash Spirits deals 5 damage to a random enemy. Repeat for each ethereal card in your exhaust pile. So if you... this is how I should say it. If you have a deck that already exhausts a bunch of ethereal cards, this is value. Put it in the deck. You don't take this to then find a bunch of exhaust ethereal cards to exhaust to use this as the capstone of that build. It itself exhausts. It's a bit rough to be able to get back from that position. So it's not a build around, right? It's something that you capitalize on. We'll take Searing Wound there, and now I'm going to be looking for Soulburn. There's a lot of different ways to get Soulburn though, so the first upgrade still it'll be to float, because I'm not going to need to play Searing Wound multiple times in most of the fights for a while. Well, that kind of sucks. I'm going to go for the triple defend. I'm hoping both don't attack next turn too. Oh. How do we want to do this then? Is a defend possibly in the deck? Fine. Do the traditional way. Didn't find a defend. Why have all the louses been opening with double attack recently? It's very rude of them. It's downright criminal. Wow. All right. Yeah, all of these work with what we're trying to do here. Burning Touch and Heat Shield are the two we want most. I think Burning Touch is more important early, but Heat Shield is harder to get. There are a lot of different ways to build Soul Burn, and hopefully we find some of them. Sear Heat Shield, I guess. Good defense. Strike, and I'll Searing Wound for 13 damage there. 1 energy, 13 damage is totally fine. Heat Shield, and then we float past. Even throw in a strike for the kill. Nice. Spectral Spark. This is the build. This is where we do it. Alright, we're a Spectral Spark, Soulburn, Searing Wound deck. Interesting kind of deck to be. Hup, hup, Spectral Spark, and then comes back to hand, and I Spectral Spark again, and then I hit you for 16 Searing Wound Soulburn damage there. Strike, float past, and then hit a defend. Great. We get to Sear next turn. Hopefully a couple strikes come off the back of that as well. Single strike, that's okay though. Nice. Yeah, soul burning the enemy a bunch here isn't going to do anything. So I will just go for the obvious damage that's already represented on board. Advance, attack. Doesn't matter. Okay. This shop could kind of make or break us. Deal 10 damage, apply 6 soul burn, upgrades to 14 and 9. That's very, very concentrated right there. Sword of the Night is not a bad card, just in terms of getting some extra damage into the deck. But if I really want to utilize that Spectral Spark, I'm just looking for skills at the moment. Mainly. Defensive skills in particular, if I can get them. Heat Crush. I think we still take Heat Crush. So So we've taken Heat Crush here as another way to try and get a finisher in there. It's also just a very dense damage card, so I don't have to add many damage. This is to say attack cards rather than just specifically damage. I don't have to add many attack cards to the deck to be able to still have a good attack turn. Should there be some reason I don't want to play a bunch of skills, and there are in this game. Removal from the deck right now would probably just be a strike. Am I okay with that? I think I am okay with that. Cool. Let's remove that strike and bounce then. So we've got 2 midline rests here. Hopefully I don't take too much damage early on. Speaking of not wanting to take too much damage early on, I may... Full stop. I just may take that. No, I think I'm going to kill the first one there, hit you with that, and then block potion for 12 HP. That was always an impossible, a possible, rather, eventuality. There's the extra 9. Cool. We can, as well as Hexagard. Great pickup. If the active Ghost Flame is ignited, apply 15, upgrades to 20 soul burn. There are not... So there's that other card, right? The one we passed over earlier, which has a conditional as well. If the enemy already has soul burn. Sorry, apply 7 soul burn. If the enemy already had soul burn, apply 7 more. That got upgrades to 11. So that's 22 total on a conditional of the enemy already having soul burn, but you already apply half of the soul burn regardless. This is conditional on the active Ghost Flame being ignited, which isn't that hard to achieve quite consistently, so it's a little bit of an easier requirement to meet. And it's also a very dense amount of soul burn on an individual target. If I'm going to put any soul burn like attacks in here, that would probably be it. Unfortunately, it's up against Hexagard, which is passive defense. Hexagard is a defend card that plays itself, gives you the 7 block, right? It plays itself when it triggers Afterlife. It triggers Afterlife if it exhausts. It exhausts if it's in your hand at the end of the turn due to Ethereal. A lot of keywords going on in the kind of chain there, but I was explaining it just, you know, over the top a little bit there. So Hexagard has the versatility of being something that we play, get the draw on this turn, not play, get the draw on next turn. We play it to try and get part of our skills done for the Spectral Spark. It's draw as well, so it's draw neutral in your hand, right? You cast the card in order to get a card, but the card's value is it setting up the Bolstering Soul Flame to use Spectral Spark, so it's got value there as well. It's also in a deck where I have a very expensive attack, Heat Crush, so oftentimes I'll want to use Heat Crush, but I'll know that I've got a card in my hand, the Hexagard, that is going to defend me even if it just exhausts. I still haven't put Soulburn in this deck. I keep taking everything but Soulburn. We're about to pay for it hard right now. Oh, you best believe we're about to pay for it here. And strike and then float. Fine. Because of that, we will... Oh, we'll defend? I guess. God, I'm going to lose Heat Shield. That's fine. I don't love that. Because now Spectral Spark's garbage, but also it wasn't going to be good in this fight anyway. Speaking of it wasn't going to be good in this fight anyway. There it goes, not being good in this fight anyway. Try and take down the frontliner as a priority here. Okay, so I'm definitely going to have to float forward at this rate. We're too far past. Hexa, Spectral, defend. Searing Wound for 10 damage against the front line. It also exhausts this card. Yep. This fight's going to be pretty rough. Ooh, nice. Thank you. Yeah, this fight's going to be pretty rough, but if I can get the frontliner down so that I'm only taking a maximum of 10 damage a turn, I suddenly get a lot healthier. Here's the situation I was talking about prior. I get to use my Heat Crush, and I know that Hexagard defends me at the end of the turn. If I'd instantly drawn another strike at the top of the next hand, I would have regretted my previous turn. Thankfully, that didn't happen. So I don't have to regret my previous turn. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, next turn's at least pretty dense. There's our big activation. Float in the next hand as well. I will strike before attempting to float, just in case we floated into another attack. Oh, actually, right. So the Ghost Flames at the moment aren't tracking the... Why am I so... I think the camera keeps adjusting brightness down. 1 second. Let me tell you to stop doing that. Now it's too bright. Now it's too dark. Sorry. Fine. That'll be good enough, I think, for the moment. Ugh. Logitech. Okay. Yeah, the Ghost Flames aren't tracking previous casts on that Ghost Flame at the moment for some reason. Sorry, it is tracking them, but it won't show them visually. So if I came here and one of them was already filled, it would still show both of them blank. I've had that experience a lot recently. I cannot imagine the amount of work it took to get it to work as it currently does, so please take this as far from a complaint as I possibly can make. It's just something to be mindful of as you are rotating back. Possibly. Okay, so 3, and then next turn is the 2 trigger, and then 1 trigger. Oh, so that enemy never hits me again. No more damage from that enemy. Float first here. Okay, I could do either or, and it wouldn't really make a difference here. So I guess we'll advance. Spectral Spark, and then hit ya. I unfortunately take a bunch of damage here. But that should, by all rights, be the last damage we take in the fight. And it is. Bad Omen. Replace the active Ghost Flame with a crushing or bolstering one. That gives me the ability to try and build another Spectral Spark area. Love it. Question card. Future card warders have 1 additional card to choose from. Because we're doing, like... Our deck has a lot of potential, but we're not powerful at the moment, so I will rest to try and get my HP back before starting to upgrade things. Still don't like doing that event. Upgrade 3 random cards. Yeah, okay, we got... Gosh, we're breaking... Definitely breaking the Emerald there. 10. Gotta upgrade the Spectral Spark. Of course, this is the Gremlin Knob fight. Of course it is. I knew I should have thought about that. Well, we just try and hit him with a Heat Crush on the turn. We draw that. Strike. Burn out the Flawed. I'll play my own Defend. I don't need to weaken the enemy this turn because the Hexaguard is going to cast itself, but I will weaken the enemy likely next turn. Actually may just kill them. Defend Spectral Spark. Bad Omen into a Crushing Ghost Flame. Oh, that doesn't ignite? Ooh, I thought that was going to ignite. Spectral Spark. Searing Wound and that kills. Yeah, I thought... I mean, it shouldn't, but... I guess? Volcano Visage. At the start of your turn, apply 4 Soul Burn to all enemies. Can I afford to turn that down? The answer is no. No, I cannot. Stone Calendar. The end of turn 7, deal 52 damage to all enemies. A lot of our fights are going to last that long. We're going to play pretty defensive. That could actually help us close out a lot of those fights, so definitely in favor. 2. Then... Let's hit the backliner with that one. That wasn't correct at all, was it? Hexagard first. Right? Then we defend and Searing Wound. Frontliner dies next turn. Backliner dies to the Heat Crush we're almost certainly getting. Cool. We get an Ecto Cooler. Devil's Darts. This could be the way that we get a draw engine. The way that we get back to the same one that we want to be casting on consistently. Yeah, Devil's Darts totally goes in this deck. So we're now going to be using the retract features a lot more commonly. Okay, we'll float forward. A lot of the time, I'm not even going to activate this first one. Like here, we'll defend Sear. Getting the trigger. And you know what? The enemy's got 9 Soulburn on them. Searing Wound. Why? Because I'm almost certainly going to hit Heat Crush in time that it doesn't frustrate me to have that effect. Okay, we Devil's Darts. Back to the same one. Right? And then we can double defend. Hit out for 8 damage. Strike. There's the Heat Crush. Skill Pot as well as Phantom Fireball. If the enemy has Soulburn, detonate it. Not many things allow you to do that effect in particular. If we were going to add another attack into the deck, that would be it. So let's do it. I've got 2 curses in the deck which we need to remove basically as quickly as we possibly can. Replace the active with a Bolstering Ghost Flame, thank you. Then we'll Devil's Dance to get back here, as well as ignite that Bolstering Ghost Flame. And then we'll start trying to move forward. Yeah, Heat Shield's great here. So if I pop a Heat Shield... Do I even want to throw the Phantom Fireball there? Sure. I made sure not to use the draw at the very end there, just in case I drew into a Flawed, which I wouldn't have been able to play. So here I will float to float past. Unfortunately, we still haven't gotten the Spectral Spark out of the deck. That's really rough. Spectral Spark would have been so good for us right there. Though we now do get to line up the Spectral Spark guaranteed with our next hand. I'm almost certainly going to have to weaken the enemy before the end of this fight. I hope I won't have to use Duplication Potion, but who knows. 1 of 3 Ethereal from any class to your hand. It costs 0 this turn. I think I take that. First card played each turn is played twice. Don't mind if I do. The enemy is going to be doing all of the deck trashing themselves. I don't need to help them along that line. Doubling up on that Searing Wound seems pretty good. It's 60 damage right now. I feel pretty good about that. Great fight overall. Second Searing Wound, Toasty, Bad Omen, Unleash Spirits. So there is such a thing as too much saturation of an effect in the deck. A long time ago, if I had something that I would like in the deck, right? I would like as many copies of that as I can find before the end of the run. Because more is good, right? Even in a thin deck, I would just be more selective about the cards that I would stack. Eventually you reach a point of extremely diminishing returns. Now, do I think I've reached that so far? Probably not. Do I think Toasty is good? Probably. Bad Omen? Probably not. Searing Wound? Maybe? It really depends on how fast we can get our combos off and if we are going to start getting the extra defend. I'm going to take the Searing Wound and try and take this in a deck where we just defend on those turns. Speaking of defending, let's take the Philosopher's Stone. It'll be a little hard to defend against our enemies, but the other options seem significantly worse for us there. Oh my god, there's a 4 elite path. I am so keen. But it's also deadly to try and attempt. There's a 3 merchant path. That could be okay. What if I take the 2 merchant path early and then go over? Okay, the cards that still need to be upgraded, definitely. Both of the Searing Wounds, they're going to be important over the course of this. Bad Omen, eh. Volcano Visage, pretty important. We'll upgrade 1 Searing Wound and then probably the Volcano Visage afterwards. 1 of 20 cards added to the deck. We're looking for a retracting card here, probably. Backtrack Smack's appealing. Haunting Echo's pretty appealing still. Burning Touch. Charge Barrage. No, actually, Charge Barrage is not appealing. Extra Crispy's also not really appealing. Shields of the Night. Backtrack Smack. Charge Barrage. No, not Charge Barrage. Sorry. Haunting Echo. Right, is the other card. I think I take the Shields of the Night. I think one of the biggest things that I'm missing at the moment is defense. I don't even know who the captive hero is going to be. But I do know that I can fight the arena champions. Fine. Not a great opening hand here. Actually, pretty close to the worst opening hand we can have. Well done. I think I know this one. There's a strike. Devil's Dance to move backwards. Play Volcano Visage. Another strike. And do I phantom the back line? 8. No, I phantom the front line, actually. It gets hit by one of those 4s. We use the Brew of Sharpness. It now dies to the counter. We use the Weaken on the back line. We now have as much time as we need to kill the back line. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad now. I mean, I could try and double Heat Crush for 40 damage here. Or something. I don't think I really want to. Let's float forwards. Also not really wanted to have happen. I really don't want to have to use Flawed here. Spectral Spark and Searing Wound are in the next hand. Fine, go off, Flawed. So here's why I did that, and this is what this build is supposed to do. Spectral Spark, it comes back to hand. Defend, Spectral Spark, it comes back to hand. Defend, Spectral Spark, it comes back to hand. Spectral Spark, Searing Wound. That is what this deck is supposed to do, but I need a higher... no. Another Hex card easily. I need to remove all of the curses that I added to the deck, and I need a higher concentration of skills to be able to do that more consistently. Fine by me. Pretty good advance there. I can even retract back to that now. Oh, not with this hand. Ow. Bad Omen. Yeah, Bad Omen doesn't... I mean, it shouldn't, right? The new Ghost Flame has not had a skill played in front of it. It's just because it doesn't do that, I have to plan around it in a different way. Again, it's not me complaining about it. It's just because it would accumulate, like it would do it here. Like if I, do we have power in there? We don't. Okay, that's fine. I'll still replace that with a Crushing Ghost Flame, but it'll activate this Ghost Flame, right? So it still casts on one of them. See a Heat Crush. Decent damage. We finally get to remove one of the curses from the deck. Extra crispy Rain of Embers. Sword of the Night. Thermal Transfer. No. Nope. We do enough setup. Extra crispy is not what we want to do. A lot of this is not what we want to do. Let's first get Flawed out of the deck. I may actually leave. We have another shop, and if we want to, we have another shop after that, so I don't have to suddenly pick something here just because I feel like I need value, you know? We can sit back, let the value come to us. Nice. Devil's Dance immediately. Shield of Night, gaining the energy back. Then we even get the Hexaguard, getting us the Searing Ghost Flame in time to be able to hit you with both of those and move forward one space. Perfect. It scarcely worked out better. I guess I Bad Omen into a Crushing Ghost Flame, because then I can activate a new Ghost Flame. Yeah, it's this turn that sucks. Do I want to Heat Crush the enemy 2 times here? I may want to Heat Crush the enemy 2 times here. What are we going to draw? Spectral Spark. That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah, if I want to save HP here, I have to Heat Crush the enemy 2 times. Which means it doesn't really matter where I go with this. Retract, gain the energy and draw. Well, now do we have options? Defend Spectral Spark, it gets negated. Heat Shield Spectral Spark, it gets negated. Spectral Spark. No. If I don't want to take 22 damage, I just have to do that. Stoke the Fire. No. Ghost Flame Wall, kind of. Nightmare Vision. Put 2 ethereal cards from your draw pile. From your exhaust pile into your hand. This is played, not exhausted. Powers aren't exhausted, so that's not going to work. Hexaguards would totally be a really, really good pullback from that, but, you know, what's it going to be? Second cycle before I play this to get 2 Hexa blocks from the back? It just doesn't seem likely. Ghost Flame Wall is just like a defend that applies Soul Burn to the enemies. Yeah, totally. Makes a lot of sense in this deck. Really? Spectral Spark is never available on the right turn, which means I either need to add more Spectral Sparks or thin the deck. I know which one of those solutions I'm more liable to go for. I have 2 powers left in the deck. Fine. Let's get the Bolstering Ghost Flame there instead. There's why. Just throw out the Heat Crush as well. Use the Hexaguard. Ghost Flame Wall, if you could only be a little earlier, that would have been much appreciated. There you go. Not my best fight against you ever, but it is still another card removal. Got to keep the most important part in mind. Incorporeal as a really good defend. Yes. Pre-upgraded? Definitely. Intangibility matters a heck of a lot to us. It's another Searing Wound. That's too much. We're already having difficulty with the amount of Searing Wounds we have. Backtrack Smack is very appealing right now, though. Gives us another Attract we'd previously been missing. I may even take that Block Potion just so that I can actually take the upcoming Elite fights. Definitely take the sapphire key over the tiny chest there. It's a bit late for the tiny chest to get us value. And even if it did, I would have had to give up that value for the sapphire key, so... basically doing that here. I really want to blow that up. Probably not. 15, incoming's 24. I could save 9 with the potion right now. We bad omen into a crushing ghost flame. Do the spectral spark play here on the back line. Hexagard. Spectral spark play there on the back line. Defend. Spectral spark, because that might hit the back line anyway. It doesn't. Alright, fine. I spectral spark the back line this time just to guarantee that they die next turn. This is fine. We backtrack smack. That doesn't actually give us anything. Right, I forgot about that. All's well that ends well on that, though. Attack potion as well as another Hexagard, Searing. I'm more than happy to take almost all of the Hexagards the game is going to offer to me here, frankly. Again, I think I should rest here rather than upgrade a card. We have a lot of cards that really want upgrades, but also, if I die... that's not going to matter much. Oh, this could have been bad. I don't even have 2 attacks in hand, so I'm going to backtrack smack. Then Shield of the Knight and Ghost Flame Wall. Hit you with a Sear and then a Searing. Thank you for also taking some more Ghost Flame on yours. Nice. This is exactly what we wanted. Okay, so Incorporeal retracts as well. We need to use that near the end. We will defend Spectral Spark. Defend Spectral Spark. Searing Wound, Spectral Spark. Spectral Spark, Incorporeal at the end. There we go. Enemy now has the 52 on them. Strike and hit you with the Phantom Fireball for the kill. Tori is hugely powerful right there. Another Shield of the Knight. I'm still kind of lacking defense, even with all of the Hexagards in the deck. I think that's probably one of the last things I need to take here, though. Break Sapphire, Recall. We still have a couple cards in this deck that really want to be upgraded. Devil's Dance wants to be innate pretty badly. We're going to get a lot of value out of that with the amount of retract cards we have in the deck, including the intangible one now. Speaking of. Okay. I'm going to use Incorporeal there, then Heat Crush, Backtrack Smack to ignite the Searing Ghost. I'm pulling in reverse here. Then going back to the bolstering Ghost Flame. It's a weird way to be sure. I could totally end up paying for this. It kind of looks like I'm about to. Except for Bad Omen, Crushing Ghost Flame, Shield of the Night, Spectral Spark, Float Nowhere, Spectral Spark, Searing Wound. That... I'm so glad that combo is actually coming out. Oh, that's pre-upgraded Ghost Shield. I'm so glad that combo is actually coming out here. Pre-upgraded Ghost Shield is so much better as a result of the other cards that we have access to at the moment as well. Yeah, it's just huge. Very important, very effective. Devil's Dance first. This is going to seem blasphemous, right? Yeah, it's going to seem blasphemous, so don't do it. Okay. So we explosive, then get the strike off there, getting us another energy, which we now use to use the Phantom Fireball, activating the first Ghost Flame. I was thinking of using Bad Omen to replace the Inferno Ghost Flame with a Crushing, but I can also just use the Crushing as a Crushing. As it turns out, they're quite good at that. as a result of already literally being that. No, I don't need it right now. Here it comes! There's the backtrack smack. Heat Crush would basically be the only card I could draw here for an impact that I'm looking for. Let's float nowhere. Just in case. Fine. Throw out the Spectral Spark, then defend. Throw out the Spectral Spark, then Sear. Throw out the Spectral Spark. Then Shield of Night. Throw out Strike. Then the Spectral Spark. Then I'm probably going to Volcano Visage. And throw out the Spectral Spark. Don't you dare attack. Thank you for not daring attack. I have so many searing wounds and I have just no damage. This is tragedy. And we just got past our best defensive card. We're going to go a bunch of cycles without actually having done anything to the enemy here. It's going to be really tragic. Alright, let's retract. Shield of the Night our way into... I guess another Shield of the Night because I don't have the Spectral. Killing one of the targets for me. Ghost Flame. We're actually going to be really well defended this turn. What is that? Why is that? Okay, then. Guess I'll Hexagard, see if we find a retract. We do not. Strike, strike, and a Spectral. Hit him with another Spectral. Hit him with a Phantom. And then... yeah, Crush is in the draw pile. We use it for the kill. That works pretty well. Also, the Stone Calendar would have finished that off for us had we not managed ourselves. 2 Incorporeals in the same deck is pretty rough. That's a lot of retracting, but more than that, it's a lot of negative HP. It's a lot of attrition. I mean, that's 9 damage versus defend that does nothing, so... I think I'll take the 9 damage over the defend that does nothing. Just a little bit of a personal preference right there. We can... strike. Float. To advance. Hexagard. Okay. Hexagard again. Also okay. Then we backtrack smack. Why are you here now? Use the Phantom Hourglass for the kill. Volcano Visage coming out at this time is... that's good. That's legitimately good. 28 cards in the deck. Yeah, we just need to visit shops and cut more. 33 is not going to be enough there, but it will. Activate the Ghost Flame. Let's get that kill and then use the Ghost Shield for the defense. Yeah, we can generate pretty giant defensive turns. Very appealing to see right there. Alright, that's worked well. Pass. Nightmare Vision got closer there, considering the thicker deck at the moment, but that's also why I kind of don't want it. Because I keep building a thicker deck right now, and I don't want to have done that. Step through would be really good. Heat Crush for the front line. That may not actually be far off what we end up doing. I mean, yeah. End up taking 1 damage total there, but we get to Float forward, use a Shield of the Night to defend. That ends up actually fully defending us, right? Yeah, defend, Volcano, throw out the Seer. Alright, by the time the enemy gets their next double attack, they are going to be deceased. If I have anything to say about it at the absolute least. Strike and backtrack smack gets us back here. Still doesn't damage the enemy enough, but Searing Wound before the Phantom Fireball will. Exo Cooler as well. No. Shield of the Night pre-upgraded. Yes. We've had a lot of difficulty upgrading our own cards, so if you could do it for us, game, that'd be much appreciated. Do I really want to retract right now? Okay, fine. So that popped that and then retracted us back to the Inferno Ghost Flame. So I guess my goal right now is gain a bunch of intensity? That can totally be a goal. A goal can be just gaining a bunch of intensity. Just that for the kill, gain an energy, also complete our journey there. Am I seriously going to retract to it again? Is that actually what I'm about to do? It is. But if it helps, I'm about to advance away from it as well. These are the problems you face when you build your deck around a card that you don't always have. Kind of the known risks here. I also don't want to lose Volcano Visage, so I will lose the Hexaguard there instead. It's fine. I would have lost the Hexaguard had I drawn with Hexaguard anyway. Shield of the Night, and then... Hexaguard. Probably should have Hexaguarded first, just in case. We didn't get anything that would have made it relevant, but just in case. Let's float to advance, use the Shield of the Night, and then the Volcano there. 46 incoming. I take 1 damage. Thank you, Tori. You heat shield for the most important defense we're going to be getting here as well. Seer, heat shield. We're still going to be taking 9 damage right now. I think I actually will fish for the attack potion here. The active Ghost Flame is ignited, which it won't be, but it can be instead. Dealing 10 damage is also kind of fine here. We don't have a point of strength at the moment, so it's not actually that great. 8 and 8 if you have another serial card, which I don't. Fine, we take the dynamic blow. Use those two to ignite that, gaining a little bit more defense. Frontliner dies next turn, returning a card to my hand. I also get defended within range of Tori. Let's backtrack smack just to see if I get the card that would have been relevant, the Spectral Spark here. We don't. Just in case anyone is not necessarily watching the screen. However, I can set myself up for it. Set myself up for there being a Crushing Ghost Flame in that position. That's what we were looking for. The Shield of the Night. Spectral Spark. Defend Spectral Spark. Defend Spectral Spark. Spectral Spark, Spectral Spark. Heat Crush is still in the draw pile, so are both Searing Wounds, so we'll attack now as well. Definitely hit the Ghost Shield and then retract. Gaining a bunch of energy. Whoop. Heat Crush needs to go out. Which is... fine. Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. Enemy gains more soul burn on themselves as long as I manage to draw to at least one of my Searing Wound cards. Which I did. We'll have the ability to kill him. Nice. Gifts from Beyond. Whenever an ethereal card is exhausted, gain an energy next turn. There's also Fifth Seal. Okay. So I wasn't going to take anything here, but I'm definitely taking something now. It's either Gifts from Beyond or Fifth Seal. I can tell you that for free. Fifth Seal, it still only has a floor next floor to upgrade a bunch of cards for me. But the upgrades will make all of the difference. So much of the difference. But Gifts from Beyond, when I am purposefully exhausting not just Ascender's Bane, which is an ethereal exhaust, but also Hexaguard, 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 sometimes Ghost Shield. Is that enough? Obviously statuses as well. God, I guess I take Fifth Seal. Well, see, the thing is, energy does matter to us. And it's a little bit of a problem for us so far, so I will take the Cursed Key. I may not open any chests here, though, instead, though. So I'm looking for the path that is the most dense with... There we go. Those shops. Found the right one. We break the Sapphire and recall. We have to make absolutely certain we have the ability to go to Niao. Despite the fact that we don't need to go to Niao for the challenge that we're doing. We just can't. That's so weird. Spectral Spark's already gone. But I planned so much around it. Best defense I could generate that turn. I'm okay with it. This Fifth Seal has to be played. No ifs, ands, buts, etc. about that one. I mean, I'd like to also play the Ghost Flame Wall for some soul burn on the back line, but not really happening there. We've got two of the Searing... There we are. I was about to say, where are they? Two of the Searing Winds in draw while. Searing Wound good. Searing Wound good. Backtrack Smack pre-upgraded. Worthy Sacrifice to try and get another attack or a skill. Ghost Flame Wall, Fourth Seal. Here's where I think I just start turning things down, even if they're okay. Because they're not more okay than not having to take them in the first place. Devil's Dance. Then I Heat Crush activating this effect. Moving myself one space forward. Right? Then I... Oh, no. It's backtrack, then go shield. Of course. I don't get to upgrade a card because I messed that up. I actually paid for it. I don't like having to pay for my mistakes. Why can't I just unrepentantly make mistakes? Like the good old days. Fine. Incorporeal's probably not the least I can take here. Yeah, I should have the ability to defend myself significantly. Right now. So I don't even need to take that 3. Cultist, no. Fast forward. Yes-ish? I think that one just rides the line. It's real hard to get enough damage on this enemy here. We Shield of the Night, then defend. And we do that so that we move back to the Searing Ghost Flame and already have a strikeout. Of course, Spectral Spark turns up after I do that. No way of getting forward. Fine. Let's backtrack smack. Then we use Shield of the Night as well as defend to move a space forward. Then we can strike Spectral and throw a Searing Wound for only 14 damage there. We take 1 damage ourselves. Thank you, Tori. We strike with more Soul Burn before bad omening, hitting a Crushing Ghost Flame. We hit 5th Seal, so we have to play it. I knew the entire time if we drew 5th Seal, we were going to have to play it instantaneously. Just unfortunate we did instantaneously hit it. Okay, let's Sear. 55. Fine, I'm just gonna get him dead. I don't want to have to think about this enemy anymore. Get the Hexagard upgrade. Shield of the Knight's being offered pre-upgraded there as well. House from Beyond. Draws 2 cards, gains a single energy. Still just not what we're looking for. Needs to be powerful on the turn we draw it as well. 6 Seal. Play a copy of a card from your deck at random at the start of each fight. Pretty good. It's just pretty good to have in general. As for the rest of this, there's another shop later on. None of those do I think are significantly better than just not having them. Okay, Spectral Spark playing at the start of the fight. More than happy with that. Okay, let's fast forward. You Shield of the Night, then Hexagard. Devil's Dance for the Retract and Draw. Fine, then we just Bad Omen this into a Crushing, and then I'm okay again. And heck, I can even use Searing to start it off. I'm trying to put myself in a position where drawing the soul at any time is good. Spectral Spark, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. The soul. Spectral Spark. Defend Spectral Spark. Defend Spectral Spark. Ghost Flame. Spectral Spark. Spectral Spark. And we managed 40 defense out of all of that. While also getting huge offense out of that. Just perfect. Let's float forward. Perfect. Because then I also have the ability to backtrack. Shield of the Night, then Sear this target. And hit the backliner. Yeah. Frontliner dies, backliner dies, everything just resolves itself. Peace Pipe, remove a card from your deck at rest sites. Sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna remove 3 cards now. Just as many cards as we can get out of here. We Devil's Dance going backwards. Hang on, we can do this, right? Because then we Hexagard, Shield of the Night, gain the energy back. That moves us 1 space forward. If we use a single strike, that completes that one. Then we float to move ourselves 1 space forward. Unfortunately, now we have to Searing Wound in order to activate the Spectral Spark. Just a weird way for that to work out. I should have just put a second Spectral Spark in this deck. I don't know if I had many opportunities to, but I should have found them and taken them regardless. Regardless of whether or not we had the opportunity to do it, we should have just done it. Bolstering so that I can play the 5th Seal happily. The Hexagard there too. Good, we did get Searing Wound here at the absolute least. I'm going to use Incorporeal just to return to this. Nice. Fast forward our way out of that, gaining an extra point of strength. Searing Wound, hit extra defend out there. Stone Calendar's getting closer, at least. Heat Crush also kills the backliner now. Just gonna murder the backliner instantly, thank you. Sear and then defend for 21, I guess, is probably the best defense I can get out of that. Still pretty good when the enemy doesn't do any damage. Beautiful. Armorer's Tincture. So speed running, Searing Strike, Nightmare Vision, no thank you. Armorer's Tincture. I could probably take that for like an individual turn, especially like a Spectral Spark turn, giving us a bunch of defense. I'm sorry. There are very few powers there that are going to be... relics there that are going to be better than not having a relic from there. Bolstering, and then we Devil Stance backwards. Backtrack Smack. Oh my god, we're just going to keep activating that, I think, now. Shield of the Night in a single strike. There you go. You have to be like a float to get forwards now. Or not. Maybe it doesn't have to be that at all. It can be a Visage that would move us forward, but also we could just play Force Ignite to do it again. Set myself up easily for the next Retract. Speaking thereof, I think it's Incorporeal this turn. Just because of the sheer amount of damage that otherwise would have come in. Okay, we float here. Do I Retract again? Is that a draw pile? No, probably not. Or do we? No, we do. We do. Yeah, because this is going to be activated next turn by the 5th Seal. Should probably still Hexagard first. See what we get out of it. Alright, fine. 5th Seal, then I'll Spectral Spark to make sure that I get to use the Shield of Night for free. Spectral Spark again. Sear as well? Yes. Because we still have the other 2 Searing Wounds in the deck. That would be great. Oh my god. Double Searing Wound. Blow 'em up. Volcano Visage, Charge Barrage, Heat Shield. I'll take another Heat Shield happily. We know why that's important. We've seen Meow try and destroy us if we don't have a Heat Shield available. It's too important, unfortunately. Okay, so... So it doesn't tell you, but apparently the dealer always hits unless they're showing 16? Well, the dealer will continue to hit until their total hand value is 17 or more. Got it. 50 souls. They've got 3. I've got 14. I feel like I'm probably going to bust if I hit, but 24. There we go. Play again. Spare 50. Yeah, I'm definitely going to stand on the 20. There you go. 25. Play again. 50. I've got 16, but it can also be less than that. The enemy's holding a 10 out, so I definitely have to hit 15. I'm going to stand on that. 21. All right. Well. I'm not a blackjacker. What can I say? It's not my kind of fort. Definitely hit you with a sear. It's a little unfortunate that we're not going to be able to get to the correct Ghost Flame here to be using Spectral Sparks just yet. Especially considering we just got the Spectral Spark. It's okay. Honestly, the Retract build, I think, has been working anti-synergistically with it a little bit. Okay. We Bad Omen this into a Crushing. Right? Then we defend and float forwards. Activating. Then we backtrack. Heat Shield, Ghost Shield. Do it again. Or do I just throw out the Heat Crush? Ghost Shield, Heat Shield. Because then I just move to another Bolstering Ghost Flame. If I can have just 2 Bolstering Ghost Flames next to each other and keep retracting and advancing between the 2 of them, of course we're gonna... Of course that's gonna be good. There's an Incorporeal coming up soon. That'll be fine. There's the Incorporeal, so I have to use it now. Didn't really want to, but that's okay. I make sure that I don't pop that one there. Do not want this Ghost Flame popped, because I worked so hard to make sure that I would be here. So that we can now retract to another safe one to be playing around. Nice. Then life becomes so much easier. Yeah, that'll definitely make it easier. Sear. Spectral Spark there. Okay. Unfortunately, fast forward would actually move us right now. So, I guess I Searing Wound. Okay. I mean, like, I have lethal on everyone on board, so I don't really need to be okaying and passing anymore. Force Ignite the next Ghost Flame. Interesting. There's also the Advancing Guard for trying to get past the current Ghost Flame, but it's up against another Hex Guard that's pre-upgraded. This is another removal. Base defends are actually quite good in this deck. Strike, and then it might even be Heat Crush after that. I don't really want to tax in this deck if I can get away with it. And I can sometimes. Devil Stance backwards. Shield of Night defend gets us forwards. Bad Omen our way into a Crushing Ghost Flame and then defend and then Heat Shield. Moving to another Crushing Ghost Flame. Now we have the ability to retract back and forth between the 2 of those. Yeah, okay. This works really well as long as we have exclusively the setup that we just had. Then it works really well. Frontliner got that hit there. Good. Hexa. Nice. We also Hexa and then do it to you. Fine. Then we pop the first Searing Wound because it kills 2 more of the daggers. Getting us a lot more draw. I have to play that 5th seal this turn still. Spectral Spark. Hexa. Spectral Spark. Oh my god. I really want to go off, but I also really want to get that 5th seal down. 5th seal, Searing Wound, Spectral Spark. Spectral Spark. Fine. I want the upgrades more. Oh my god. Shield of the Night and then backtrack. Just invalidating all of the progress we made. Shield of the Night and then backtrack. Just erasing all the progress we made again. Huh, it's weird. Float forwards. Oh my god. We're just continually overriding these two. I love this part of it, definitely. That's when the build feels like it's really got it going on. Smiling Mask as well as Brute Sadness. No. Backtrack Smack again. No. Incorporeal. No as well. Alexa's Shield. Swap the positions of the Bolstering Ghost Flame and the first Searing Ghost Flame. Yes? Yes, that's good for us. I'm almost certain of it. And then I cut more attacks. Get out of here, Heat Crush. Yeah, because now this is a Bolstering Ghost Flame, so on turn 1, I Devil's Dance, moving backwards, getting a strength and getting some defense as well. Oh, when is this going to activate? Oh, that's interesting. Actually, may use the Gambler's Brew in this fight. A little bit scared of some possibilities here. Okay. Shield of the Night. Hexa moves forward. I don't want to backtrack and then keep going there, do I? Do I? No. Getting the Crushing Ghost Flame in that position is so good. Don't look gifted at a mouth. Especially if you're horse that day. That's what I keep hearing. That's what everyone keeps saying. Verbatim. I'm certain of it. I will take no corrections to that matter. Okay, now we float backward. Getting a retract in there. We also 5th seal. No, we replaced that, of course. Oops. Guess I'll Shield the Night, and then Spectral Spark, and then Hexagard, and then Spectral Spark. And then Spectral Spark. Oh, Searing, I've a job for you. This will work well if I fast forward too. I don't need to use the Phantom Fireball there. Miss out on 60 damage? No, thank you. Good defense from that one too. Taking only 1 damage. Tori's prevented 18 damage so far. May not look incredible, but I guarantee it's been pretty useful. Quite handy. There you go. Spectral Spark. Whenever you ignite a Ghost Flame, apply 5 Soul Burn to a random enemy. When we do the Spectral Spark stuff, we ignite... this is just like an extra Spectral Spark-ish on those turns. I'll take a copy of it. Extra half Spectral Spark on those turns, but you can't really get Spectral Spark by itself going off on those turns. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, we already had Devil's Dance activated. Huh. That's wild. Then we Hexagard. Hexagard. Shield in the Night would have been better previously, but it's okay. Right? And then we use another Devil's Dance there. I don't want to put the enemy in Divinity, but... Oh my god, and that's Ethereal as well. I really wish I had one extra energy right now. We definitely 5th seal. Fast forward. I've gained a lot of strength for someone who's not actually going to be using their strength. Ghost Flame and then float to do nothing. I'm trying to gradually work down the mantra that I just built up a bunch of. Enemy can't weaken me as well. Nice try though. Alright, now we're back down to reasonable block numbers on the enemy. And now we can go back to retracting. So we hit you with the Searing Ghost Flame and then end. I would like to retract twice each turn if available. It won't be, but I'd like to. Oh! That's some good damage. Well done. I'm scared of you. We should Hexagard looking for retractions first, I think, here. There's a retraction. Perfect. Now I will go off as hard as I can. Hexa, Spectral, Shield of the Night, Spectral. I'm giving the enemy intangibility this turn. Sorry, Divinity this turn, rather. Hexagard, Spectral. Ghost Shield, Spectral. Then we float to retract. Okay, then we fast forward. Going back to the same one. And we Sear, Spectral. Spectral again. And all of that went off that turn. I only realized about halfway through that it was all going to go off that turn. I was kind of in for a penny, in for a pound by that point. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. I know what I did. The enemy's block number, I think at the start, was visually hiding the fact that they had some soul burn already running. I already kind of had them into Divinity by the time I realized I was putting soul burn on their final soul burn turn. Damn it. Yes, I could have just looked at the buff number under them, but unfortunately I did not. Some things slip the mind. That happens from time to time, especially if you're playing the same game for a long enough period of time, or a bunch of different games. For the moment, though, as I go and reflect on that, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire Downfall. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.